We were in a similar situation a year ago. We were playing in Indianapolis, man, and I commented to the guys that, keep Richardson upright. Don't put Flacco in the game. And, Flacco ended up in the game.
Then we go to Pittsburgh to play Old Man Rodgers in their one-man band with DK Metcalf, and I feel like we win that game again. We beat them last year. I don't think they got better at quarterback. I don't think they got better on offense either. I think that's a win.
Not one.
Not two. Not three. Not four. Not five. Not six. Not seven.
Here, Indiana move. We from Indiana move. We some Indiana move. I'm an Indiana move.
Touchdown! I-N-D-Y! And he lost the ball. There's a fumble. Who's got it? The officials say the Colts do.
Great team win, baby!
Lobs it way downfield, intercepted, coming forward and making the INT for the Colts in the back end. To see the Colts win Super Bowl.
Hey, win on three. 1, 2, 3, win!
Told you so. We tried to tell you guys. This Colts team, they're not for real. This Colts team, they're frauds. Daniel Jones, it's all a mirage. He's going to turn back into a pumpkin. He's going to turn back into Giants Daniel Jones. The Colts haven't beat anybody good. They struggle against good teams. Their point differential is all built off of garbage teams. That is what we're going to hear for the rest of the week and most likely for the rest of the year based off of this performance against the Pittsburgh Steelers, where the Colts lose 20-27 in Pittsburgh. This is Marcus Sniffles. Welcome to the channel. We're here to talk about this dreadful offensive performance. But before we get into that, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 900 subscribers before the end of the season. We're at 860 right now, so let's keep doing it. We're on a good track. There's not really much to say about this game outside of the offensive line played poorly. All year long, we've been praising the offensive line and how well they've been playing, how dominant they've been in pass blocking and run blocking and everything, how they've been the key to this offense's success this year, how they've kind of catapulted Jonathan Taylor into the MVP conversation, how they've made Daniel Jones look like a Pro Bowl franchise level quarterback. And today they just did not have it. They got blown up constantly, giving up hella pressures, gave up 5 sacks. Braden Smith couldn't do anything with TJ Watt. Bernie struggled out there. Tanner got blown up. Gonzalez, RIP to his dad, he didn't play well today. Even Quentin Nelson had a couple of plays where he was getting pushed back into the pocket. The offensive line is the safety valve for this team. If the offensive line does not play well, this offense doesn't do anything. And it showed today. I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but the offensive line, they got embarrassed today. Flat out got embarrassed, got outplayed, got manhandled, and it just wasn't a good performance for the offensive line up front today in any aspect of the game. And when I talk about the offensive line being the safety net for Daniel Jones, we all know what Daniel Jones is. And I'm not going to be one of those fickle fans that looks at this game and says, well, Daniel Jones is back to being garbage for the rest of the year. He had a bad game. I'm not going to sit here and act like he didn't play poorly today. But there are things that have to be around Daniel Jones for him to play well. An offensive line that is protecting him. A good to an elite running game has to be around him. A play caller that has his best interests in mind has to be around him. Now, I get it. With Shane Steichen, his whole mantra is, we throw to score, we run to win. Basically means we come out the gate throwing the ball. We are a pass-first team, get a lead, and then bleed the clock with Jonathan Taylor in the second half. At some point, passing was not working. Nothing was working in the passing game. And Shane Steichen refused to kind of give up that philosophy in the game. Mid-game, once it turned into like the offensive line isn't blocking, the receivers aren't getting. I thought the receivers actually played well today. I think I'm not gonna give any push back on the receivers. But the offensive line just didn't have it, and you continue to let Daniel Jones drop back 50 times. 5-0. There is no situation where Daniel Jones should drop back and throw the ball 50 times. That is absolutely insane. And at some point, Shane Steichen needed to reevaluate what was going on, how his quarterback was playing, and how poorly his offensive line was pass blocking, and realize, you know what? This is still like the game was a 2-score game for the most part. We were in striking distance. Jonathan Taylor is the type of running back that can break off a 50, 60, 70, 80-yard play in one carry. They were within striking distance. There was no reason to just, all right, we're just going to stick with the pass just for the sake of sticking with the pass. And that's one of the things that frustrated me a little bit last year when it came to Shane, is that if we don't have a lead going into halftime, I believe Shane Steichen has only won one of those games, but he tends to lose all of those games. If he goes into the half down, it's a pretty much guaranteed we're going to lose that game. I don't know if that's just a lack of, having an offhand or a counter move or adjusting the game plan in the locker room, but something's got to change, because this, as bad as it was, as bad as it is to see a team turn the ball over 6 times, this game was still in striking distance because of the defense. And we're gonna talk about the defense a little bit later, but I want to get all this negativity about the offense out. I saw a few Colts fans kind of mentioning, and some of it might have been tongue in cheek, some of it might have been joking, but there are some people that are like, "Oh, it's time to put Anthony Richardson back into the game." And no, we can't do that. You can't take what Daniel Jones did the last 8 weeks and then throw that all the way off of one bad game. We all know what Daniel Jones is and what he's capable of. We all know that he is not a special quarterback. He's not. Like, if the offensive line is blocking great and the running game is working, then Daniel Jones can be a borderline top 10 quarterback, but he's not a special player. And that showed today. Like, the special quarterbacks, when the offensive line isn't playing at its best, you can watch someone like Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is a totally different animal. But you see what he does even when his offensive line isn't playing well. You see what Josh Allen can do with his legs. You can see the lack of mobility and running ability that Daniel Jones has when the offensive line isn't blocking that well. Josh Allen can make something happen with his legs. Lamar Jackson can extend plays with his legs. You can see Justin Herbert be more accurate on the deep balls. Daniel Jones has been okay, but his deep ball accuracy isn't special. I don't want to say he's just a guy, but if there is anything slightly not going well offensively, Daniel Jones is not going to play great. He's not going to elevate his play to help the offense out like an elite quarterback would, like a Matt Stafford would, like even a Baker Mayfield would. And you could see the deficiencies that Daniel Jones has. Now, if we're going to talk about some of the positives on offense, then obviously there wasn't that many of them. But today was the first game where we had 2 receivers go over 100 yards with Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman Jr. They both had, I believe, 115 receiving yards. So that was the first time all year we had 2 guys go over 100 yards. A.D. Mitchell, I saw him out there. He was able to get a big catch on a 3rd down in the first quarter, which I was very surprised to see him out there. I see that he is gradually gaining the trust of the coaching staff and the team back. So we said this after the fumble in LA. That will be the turning point of his career, and slowly but surely he's working his way back into getting more playing time. And like I said, offensively, just bad. Top to bottom, bad. They didn't quit, and I'll give them that. They didn't quit. They didn't quit fighting. They didn't quit playing. They didn't quit trying hard. They went for it on 4th down every time and got it every time. They went for it on 4th down with a fake punt. Offensively, they were doing some good things. After the 3rd turnover, I posted that you cannot win in the NFL with 3 turnovers. You just can't. You're not going to win the game when you give another offense 3 extra possessions. And we turned around and gave them 3 extra more. So you're definitely not winning with 6 turnovers while giving up 5 sacks. It's just not going to happen. But on the bright side, Jalen Jones, immediate impact. Immediate impact. There wasn't really any big, massive, explosive plays from any wide receiver in Pittsburgh. DK Metcalf, 2 catches for 6 yards on 4 targets. He was locked up, invisible for most of the game. Now imagine what this Pats defense looks like when we get Ward back in there. And now we have Jalen. Like I'm a broken record, but I'm telling you guys, this defense has the potential to be top 10 once Ward gets back. Now, I want to keep it positive, but I will get one negative thing out there. Mock draft, early mock draft. We have got to get a linebacker that can cover. I feel like there were too many instances where Zaire Franklin or Jermaine Pratt were running after a tight end. Like, we need linebackers that can move horizontally and with speed in coverage. It's a problem, but that's our only weakness on defense once everybody gets healthy. But to see Jalen Jones go out there and immediately have an impact on the game was great. Like, their coverage mixed with our pass rush, for the most part, Aaron Rodgers was doing a lot of short stuff, a lot of checkdowns, a lot of happy feet where it's just like, okay, this is not open as fast as I want it to be. I need to go to another read. The pressure's coming, I'm getting sacked, or I want to try to throw this quick, but my receivers aren't open and I'm missing passes. Lou Anarumo did his job. This defense did their job. Yeah, they gave up 27 points, but the Steelers scored 24 points off of 4 turnovers. 24 points off of 4 turnovers. Defensively, you can only do so much when the offense is giving the ball away and giving the Steelers short fields. The defense can't do anything. They can only stop a team so much. They stopped them on like a 4th and 1 at the goal. They turned them away on 4th down. They forced a fumble just for the offense to turn around and give the ball right back. The defense did its job. Everybody on that defense, I feel like, played well to great. It might not show up in the scoreboard. It shows up a little bit on the stat sheet, but when their offense turns the ball over that many times, it puts the defense in a bad and unfair predicament. And this is going to come off as me sounding like a hater, but enough with the Pittsburgh special teams coach. Like, enough. Like, you're a special teams coach. You're not the main attraction. You're not the head coach. You're not a celebrity. Like, they're treating this guy like he's Taylor Swift because he chews a bunch of bubblegum on a sideline. That dude looks like an 80-year-old Popeye. Like, enough with that guy. I didn't need to see him after every special teams play. Every special teams play we're showing this guy? Enough. Enough with it. Like, and maybe, like I said, I might be a hater. Okay, I am hating. Fuck that guy. Stop showing him on my TV. But anyway, this was a bad loss. A bad performance by the offensive line. A bad performance by Daniel Jones, and I think a bad performance by Shane Steichen. I do think that, going into maybe the 3rd quarter, it should have been like, all right, we're still within striking distance. Let's try to keep running the ball. Let's see if JT can break one. And he was close to breaking one a few times. But this is going to be a rough week for Colts fans. I'm just going to tell you that right now. For the rest of the week, all we're going to hear about is this team isn't for real and it shouldn't be taken seriously. Now, the Colts can come back next week and, blow the Falcons out and get back to business as business, or they'll go over to Germany and embarrass themselves and embarrass us as fans. So we'll see what happens. We're here every Monday, 7 in the morning, win or loss, good win, ugly loss. We're here putting out the content. So if you made it this far, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 900 subscribers. We're trying to get there before the end of the season. So if you've watched this far, subscribe to the channel, bro. Subscribe. And if you have subscribed, take your girl's phone and subscribe on her phone also. Or grab your mom's phone or your dad or your grandparents. Find someone else's phone and hit that subscribe button. Talk to you next Monday. Go Colts.
Thanks for watching, babe. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel.
You made it this far. If you have not liked the video at this point, what are you waiting for? Just like the video. Hit the like button right now. I'm talking to you. Make sure you like the video and subscribe and drop a comment. All that stuff. This is a threat. Not a threat, a warning. But it could be a threat. Just do it.